Well, it was a spectacular fall from grace, and it came to a crashing end in a Victoria courtroom today. A man who was not the man he said he was pleaded guilty. Jason Walker, well known and respected in the community, entered a guilty plea to a charge of perjury and using false documents to pass himself off as a doctor. Tonight, Walker waits to find out what his punishment will be. A News reporter Shachi Curl was in court for the plea.
Why did he lie? What were the consequences? And what should the punishment be? Those issues hashed out in court today after Jason Walker, a man who gained accolades in this community only to breach its trust, pleaded guilty to 2 counts of lying under oath and passing himself off as a doctor. Outwardly, everything about Jason Walker appeared to engender qualities of trust, healing, and help. He told the world that, among other things, he was a doctor, a PhD from the University of Calgary, and that he earned a diploma in human behavioural science from the Yale School of Medicine. The problem, it was all made up. Last December, the house of cards he built came tumbling down. Police raided his business, a wellness center in Saanich, where the sign on the door said Dr. Jason Walker was in.
The charges have been sent down to Crown Counsel, and they stemmed from testimony that Jason Walker provided on the stand during an impaired driving trial.
That was March of last year. 6 months later, he took the stand again as part of a child custody matter. He swore an affidavit in front of a judge in his capacity as a doctor of social work, knowing those statements were false. His resume was chock full of outright lies and obvious puffery, prosecutor Robin Baird told the judge. Baird says the court relied on his testimony as an expert to wrongly separate the child from his father, and that, he says, made Walker's actions inexcusable. He woefully, wrongfully fabricated a slew of credentials and unlawfully interfered with the relationship between a man and his child, said Baird. That was a bad thing for him to have done. Walker's lawyer says his client deserves probation, community service, because he's lived a life with pain, chronic illness, anxiety, depression, and even sexual abuse. Walker, his lawyer claimed, hit a low point in 2006 when he dropped out of the PhD program at the University of Calgary and experienced failure for the first time in his life. He lied to his parents first and then started lying to everyone so the world would praise his achievements and he could feel better about himself. But those who trusted him feel worse. Michael Denton went to Walker for counseling when he lost his job.
And I liked him. I trusted him, I liked him, I had no reason to believe that he was anything other than what he was representing himself as.
Denton was in court today to face the man who betrayed so much trust.
And I felt very disappointed. I felt deceived.
The Crown is asking for jail time, 12 to 18 months. Walker's lawyer says if that's the case, he should be allowed to serve his time in the community.
Shachi Curl joins us now with more on the story. Shachi, beyond the personal problems that you mentioned in your report, why does Jason Walker's legal team believe he should not go to jail?
Well, Hudson defense lawyer John Green says although Walker was misrepresenting himself when he took the stand in those 2 separate cases, his testimony didn't have a major impact on either case. He also said and argued that his client was feeling severe remorse, but that prompted the judge to interject while he was making those arguments and say, hold on, if Walker really did feel bad about perjuring himself the first time back in March of 2009 on that drunk driving case, he would not have done it again in August of the same year. So some skepticism from the judge expressed in the courtroom. We expect a sentence sometime next week, Hudson.
All right, we'll watch for it. Shachi, thank you.
You're welcome.